thinking of mulching your garden to control weeds and conserve on water, there are different types of mulches that you can use. It's important that you use something that doesn't break down quickly, something that lasts a long time, because your labor in applying it needs to be taken into account, and something that really allows water to go through it and doesn't allow weeds to grow in it. But one of the most important things you have to do is start out weed-free. So normally mulches are best applied right before forsythias bloom in a garden. But if you've missed that, you can still apply mulches later. So you want to make sure that you get rid of the weeds. That's really easy to do. Right here we have a swing hoe, and you just come right down in a garden, and this cuts the weeds out. You get rid of the weeds, and now I'm starting out completely weed-free. As to the mulches that you can use in the garden, there are a couple types of mulches that you probably don't want to use. You don't want to use peat moss, you don't want to use compost, you don't want to use composted bark, and you can find all those products. Those are great products, but you need to use those products to mix in the soil. This is a soil conditioner, so this needs to be mixed in when you're planting your plants. Applying this to the surface of your soil will allow weeds to grow in it and through it. So these two materials are great, but use them to amend your soil. What you really want to use is something that is known as pine bark, pine chips. I prefer pine because pine lasts longer than hardwoods. What you find with hardwoods is they break down very quickly. Wood chips can break down in as quick as 6 weeks. But some of these pine products, including pine needles, can last as long as 12 months, 14 months, and 17 months. So what you want to do is take your mulch to a weed-free area, and I apply only 2 to 3 inches of this mulch in the garden. Don't apply more. You want to eventually end up with about 3 inches, so use a ruler. And what I sometimes do is take mulch, and I just, take it like this and dump it in little piles, and then I take my hand and come around the plants just like this, and the eventual depth is 2 to 3 inches, just like this. Now, if you have plants that reseed in the garden, like Helleborus, you might want to keep the mulch away, but again, start out weed-free, 2 to 3 inches. This keeps the soil cool, so you don't get really high temperatures or cool temperatures, and the pine or pine needles will last a long time, and this is very attractive in a garden. It really kind of sets off your green plants with the brightly colored mulch that you see here. I'm Mark Viette. Join me next time in the garden.
For more garden tips, go to the In the Garden website. That's inthegardenradio.com.